Welcome to the ManiCore.tv podcast, where big energy meets big ideas and fearless conversations light the fire. We're talking real stories, real people, and real impact, from trailblazers to everyday legends. This is your space to level up, get loud, and feel unstoppable. So plug in, turn it all the way up, and let's shake things up, because this isn't just a podcast, it's a vibe, it's a tribe, it's a movement. And now, here's your host, Mani Kaur.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
Welcome to the show, Vikas.
Thank you, Mani. Thank you.
I am so excited and so happy that you're here. There's a whole big backstory behind getting you here, but I'm just glad that it's actually happening and you are here and you're in the hot seat and you're going to offer up the most stylish episode without a shadow of a doubt.
No pressure.
Yeah, there is no pressure because you are just the style king, I would say, sort of thing. Or the prince, whichever way you want to refer. I say prince because you're so young looking and everything. But you've been in the fashion industry for such a long time. You have been almost 2 decades with probably Kush magazine, touching.
I think just over a decade, but I think just generally in the fashion industry, like a little bit longer than that too.
Yeah, so I've just got it. Yeah, but you have been near enough for 2 decades in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
You're a fashion editor and stylist for Kush magazine.
I am, yes.
And you've just launched your own business, The Styling Pod.
I have, yes. So yeah, busy boy. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been really busy. And just like myself and the listeners and the viewers, you know, we're going to get a real deep insight into your style intellect, your fashion experience, your journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're going to hopefully give us some highlights about the Styling Pod as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as you said, it's a journey. So that's one word I will pick up on, a journey. And it's been a journey, just like it's been for everyone.
Yeah.
Personal journey, a career journey, professional journey. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we just want to get right stuck into that because, you know, there's more to just being in the industry. It's really going in depth about how you started from A to where you are now and all the, you know, everything, all the juicy bits in between.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with asking you the very first question of what inspired you to be in the fashion industry and when did it all start? How did it all start?
Okay.
Reveal it all.
I feel like I was always into, I think Bollywood played a big part, like just movies, growing up in movies where it was not really cool to disclose that, you know, you're into Bollywood. But back in the day, it was like, now it's very like, it's cool and everyone's accepting of your culture.
Yeah. You know what? I really can understand and relate to that because it really wasn't cool when we were younger.
No,
if you were listening to like Bollywood music and,
definitely
you know,
not.
It wasn't, you just kind of shy away and
shy away. Where now I'm very much like open about it. I'm just very much like confident about it after so many years and decades.
It's a cultural thing though, isn't it? Because we were almost made to feel, you know, dim it down a little bit, you know. You know, it wasn't cool.
Yeah, dim that down, but bring the other bit
the Western
up kind of thing.
You know, you're living in UK, so you should be more Western minded rather than, you know, your salwar and kameez.
Basically, exactly. So I think it was just, I always say that I think I was kind of accidentally put in this industry, but a good accident. I don't know if I can actually put those 2 words together. But like just generally like with just having the interest in Bollywood.
Yeah.
And I just growing up, just started noticing like just outfits, whether it was like family wearing outfits, being a bit like, oh, that should have gone with that. If you had put it like this, it would look better. Or if you chose this color, it would look better. If you chose these accessories, it would look better. And I just realized it was just coming naturally to me.
Were you keeping that to yourself? Or was you sharing that like with your sister or your mom or your cousins or anyone around you? Or were you just,
they were my prodigies. I feel like, you know, my family were my prodigies. My sister was, especially, she was my prodigy. Mum was.
Yeah. So what would you do like with them in terms of like
whenever the party or something, I'm like, why are you wearing like that for? Wear it like this, or put it like this, do it like that.
Yeah.
Or do it like this. And then
would they take note? Would they at that point, or would they be like,
I feel like they were just like grateful someone was doing it for them.
Oh really? So they actually received it really well and they were like, okay.
Yeah, I think
you think this goes then?
Yeah, I think grateful was doing it well. And then naturally I was just I think I just naturally, organically started researching on like designers, like what kind of designers, like who were the Indian designers, or South Asian designers, these Bollywood stars are wearing these fabulous outfits. So who designed them? And slowly took a very organic and natural interest in just finding out who they were and everything, which kind of helped my knowledge. But everything was done very naturally. I didn't necessarily think I could make a career out of it. I didn't even necessarily think that far ahead. It was just a hobby. But I feel like it was just something that I was very organic. Looking back at it, I was organically good at, or there was that interest there.
At that point in your life, did you look up or aspire to be like any other stylist, or did you just find that it was quite a niche place? Because if I'm looking back now, I don't know of any stylist at that young age where I'd look at and think, oh, that person's a stylist. Like for me, when I got in touch with you back in the day, you personally, you're the only stylist that I knew in my, my locality around me.
Yeah. I mean, firstly, I started with this industry being a fashion designer. So I used to be like a very small fashion designer. To me, it was still big, right?
Yeah.
But in comparable to others, it was small, but I'm still happy with that. Like I'm still content.
So when you say you was a fashion designer, you were like designing South Asian wear?
Yeah. So I was designing South Asian wear, go to India, had like a little mini team there, curate some really like, I guess these days they call it like a capsule collection, but like just a few bits and bobs. I didn't know any of these terminologies, nothing. Bring it back here. We'll do some shoots, collaborate with whether with model or makeup artists like yourself.
Yeah, collaborated with me
basically.
So many times right at the beginning.
I know, right?
And it was
fun.
Memories. It was
good
so
memories.
much fun.
Exactly. And then I used to put those photos out. Like now it's like, it was Facebook then, now it's Instagram or TikTok. But it was Facebook then, and I used to get inquiries and people used to buy.
It was actually only Facebook. There was no Instagram. The YouTube, it was just kind of launching. Yes. YouTube was as well.
I think Instagram and YouTube, but they were just launching, but Facebook was the thing. It was, and then I think slowly just started getting clientele. People started knowing about me. And fun fact, I didn't actually even know what styling was. I kind of got on the path when Kush magazine came along and they got launched, and they approached me being a bit like, do you want to be a stylist? I'm like, okay. And I think literally the rest is history. So I literally learned on the job, but it was almost like it just kind of, the raw ingredients were there from being a fashion designer.
Yeah.
Having like the eye. I think that was the main thing, having the eye.
You definitely got a keen eye for style. So at any point, did you like do any courses or research, or I know back them days they didn't have like master classes or anything like that?
I mean, fun fact, I didn't go uni. I wanted to go uni. I wanted to study fashion. They rejected me. This was just after a year of a art and design foundation course. And I feel like that just gave me that little bit of confidence which I needed just to like pursue something in fashion. But I saw the rejection as a blessing. So I said to myself, the amount I'll be investing financially and time-wise in university, I'm going to go back, I'm going to do my own thing. So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to India and I'm going to design some outfits, get them made here, get them made there, come back, do some photo shoots. And I really generally stuck to that plan.
So your rejection was, you accepted that as a redirection.
Yeah, exactly. I like
and
that.
And that's probably what's led you to where you are now.
Exactly.
To have that kind of mindset that, okay, this is a redirection. Yeah. This is a redirection into, a future career as such.
And I think that was...
Why did you get rejected? Was it at college or high school or...
It was uni. So it was uni. I feel like they didn't... they wanted my work to be presented in a certain way. They loved my work, if I remember correctly, so many years ago now. But I think they wanted my work to be presented in a certain way in their format. And for me, I was just like...
and you're like, format. Where's my creativity in
I agree, especially when you're doing a creative course.
Yeah.
But rather than me spending a lot of my energy like on that rejection, it's literally being a bit like, that now this is my control. What do I do with my time? What do I do with my money? Right? Where do I invest? And the biggest word is invest.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would like to think that I invested it quite well.
You invested in yourself?
Right? Because I rather went out to India, like going to another country and just.
Did you go, was that solo?
Yeah, solo. So going to another country.
So that's a big step,
solo.
you know,
yeah, I was
for a young man to think.
Late 20s. No, sorry, early 20s or just, I think it was like late teens, early 20s. That's what it was. Yeah.
So when you told your family, okay, I'm going to India, I'm going to go and design my own outfits and this is what I'm going to do.
They were very supportive.
Very supportive.
Yeah, I think they were quite supportive. They probably didn't understand it 100% or 100% understand where a viable career can happen from it. But they were very supportive.
Did you at that time? Did you have
I just wanted to grow
vision, or were you thinking momentarily, like in that moment? What were your thoughts? Where were you at?
I didn't want to put the brakes on at all. So I didn't want anything like the word brakes. It just didn't. It was not a word for me. I just wanted to go and try and try and try and try. And you know, sometimes I failed, but then I carried on, got up and tried again. And sometimes I failed more and I tried and got up again. And I just learned the lessons.
Yeah.
Carry on learning the lesson. I'm still learning my lessons after so long and I still will. Right. So it's just carrying on with it. I just didn't want to be idle at home or do nothing. I wanted to do something. I had such a fire in my stomach that I wanted to do something and not even prove it to the world, prove it to myself that, like,
there's space for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's achieve something.
Yeah.
Right. And looking back at it, I guess I didn't necessarily have a goal. The goal was to just achieve. Right. I know it's quite a loose goal, but it was just to achieve. And I think that was it. So, yeah.
So in that moment, your sights were set on being a fashion designer at that point.
Yeah.
And what it evolved to is, you know, branched off from, you know, within the fashion industry. But I find that really admirable that, you know, a young man of your, you know, at that age sort of thing, to be rejected and then go through redirection and then to come back with something and say, right, okay, these are the designs. I remember even on our first photo shoot, you had brought back saris and you had brought back lenge that you wanted to showcase.
I remember, yeah.
Do you remember that photo shoot?
Yeah, and I remember, yeah.
I was at that point, I was very impressed because I was thinking, I actually don't know anyone in my circle who can do this.
Yeah.
And then what impressed me even further was the fact that you draped the sari on me and you did it so impeccably. I was just like, wow, this kid actually knows what he's doing, because at first I was there like, okay, so you're going to be a fashion designer? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to be a fashion designer and I'm styling, I know how to style saris. And I was there like, yeah, let's see if you really do. And then you just got your safety pins and you're pinning me up. And I was there like, wow, I've never actually wore a sari where I actually feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I'm impressed. This guy knows what he's doing.
I think even learning how to drape saris, it was just, I know it sounds so funny now, but just looking at like Star Plus, the dramas, and looking at, obviously they would wear their saris every day, even to sleep.
Yeah, they do. And their makeup is all done, looking fresh when they wake up and the jewelry's still on, in place.
I know, it was just me looking at it. I was like, okay, you pinned it there, so you pinned it there, you've draped it there, you folded it there. And it was literally just looking at it and just really observing. And then I think I just end up learning it. I was like, okay, cool, this is what and trial and error and being like, okay, boom, I know how to drape a sari. But I was not aware that at that time I knew I was a designer, but I wasn't aware that I was actually styling at the same time. Like I could be putting a whole vision together and drape at the same time. I think all these terminologies came a little bit later and it registered later in my head that, okay, I know how to drape, I know how to style.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it was the end presentation. It was the end image.
Yeah. No, and well done to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On the surface, I guess everybody probably sees you right now with all the glitz and the glam, because that's what it can look like, can't it? Like,
exactly.
You know, just as an outsider.
And it is. It's showbiz. Like, it's in the name. It's, you know, however, I think the hard work that goes behind it. No one sees that.
And that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
So even if we go right back to the beginning of you stepping into the fashion industry, what, like, reveal the truth? Like, tell us, like, what was the hard grit? What were the challenges and obstacles that you had to face to? I know that you got a good gateway by being part of the magazine.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, amazing.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has to.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even being part of, like, being a fashion editor for the magazine, being the stylist for a magazine, what were the hardships? What were the challenges?
I think firstly, it's a team. It's a team effort. And as a team, there's so many, it's not glamorous. The behind the scenes are not glamorous, whether it's the late nights, especially when you work with celebrities. When you work with celebrities, that's like a whole different ball game.
Tell us, come on.
No, I'm not gonna reveal.
You don't have to give us the names, that's fine. No. Yeah, we'll keep it professional. Yeah. But you've, like, styled so many models, you've styled so many celebrities.
Right.
Yeah, or elite, should we say, Bollywood celebrities. And that's fine. And as you just said there, you touched on the rawness of the late nights, the early mornings, the long days. You know, give us some more on that, the realness of it. I
think just logistically, I think if we're talking about like celebrities, especially if they're in like India, it's just working with, firstly, the time difference. Secondly,
of course, because you travel a lot to India.
Yeah, India.
More so.
But even if communicating and then the cultural differences.
Right.
Secondly, things are done differently there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's such a culture of a celeb culture and people feed into that culture.
Yeah.
Right. So I think sometimes it's almost like, am I being a stylist or am I being like hired to rub your ego kind of thing? Yeah. Right. So I think
like you can almost become the jaiwala. Like,
yeah,
in
literally.
that moment, and you're like thinking, "Hello, this is not in my."
I don't mind doing the nitty gritty. That's not really the problem. It's the massaging the ego bit, which I kind of have a bit of a question mark on because.
Do they have an expectation of people around them to behave in such a way to rub their ego as such?
I think there is that level of expectation, or I think they're just used to it. Sometimes they may not just be aware because they've been doing it for so long and they probably have had a moment to like step back. So I can also understand from their point of view, this is their world. You know what I mean? They are their frog in their pond, and now I've just turned around and been like another species, and I'm in their pond kind of thing. So it's just constantly adjusting.
I just like your analogy then about frogs and ponds, and then you're the little tadpole as such.
Yeah, literally, right, or like a random bird in them. But sometimes that's how it feels like. But I feel like it's just you're constantly adjusting, you're constantly accepting, you're constantly just keeping yourself grounded. That you don't need to necessarily get affected by it. It's fine. Like just sometimes just nod your head, smile, and be like, okay, cool.
How ironic is that though, right? You're trying to keep humble and grounded, and yet they're feeling so elevated and superior as such. And that's the world, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the world. But also, I understand it. If going back onto the point of showbiz, know them, then this shoot probably wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Right. So we're all helping each other out. So that's the one thing I would say. We're all helping each other out, and we're all there just for great content, great images, great pictures, great videos, right? We're all there, right? So I think that's something that I've learned, that it's a team. It's actually a team, right? I'm only as good as my team. And I think that's it. And I think literally period, that's it.
Yeah. The whole network, the whole dynamic of it. The result, you all want the same goal.
Yeah, exactly.
The celebrity wants to look at their best, and we want to present them.
Yeah, we want good images. Someone who does makeup, they want great images. Someone who even does like the nail artist wants great images for them. So we're all there working for just one great project or goal. So, yeah.
What's one actual shoot or project or campaign that you've worked on that you're immensely proud about?
Oh, I've never actually kind of taken a pause and step back, but I think there's loads. Yeah. There's a lot.
And how that's beautiful. Yeah, there's loads that you can.
I think this might sound really being super modest of me, but I think I'm at a stage in my life is understanding it's not necessarily that I've done this person or that person, because they will come and they will go. It's fine. But I feel like one thing I'm proud of is just maintaining great relations with a lot of the people who are behind the scenes, whether it's my direct team
Yeah.
or whether it's just the outer team. It's just creating great relationships with them,
Yeah.
ensuring that, we understand each other, ensuring that, we're not being disrespectful towards each other, and just maintaining that respect. I think that's something that I'm proud of, right? Celebrities
really
are
good.
fine.
Yeah,
It's
course.
good. And they're also people, but also I think it's just
The reality.
the reality of it. Like it's the people, like, right? The celebrity is just, maybe the main person on set, but we also have other main people. So
Yeah.
just maintaining that relationship and just maintaining those bridges,
Yeah.
right? Where I can probably message someone who I worked with 6 years ago and they will still reply back very like politely, and they'll be more than happy to help.
Like me and you right
Yeah,
now.
precisely.
My God.
There we go. Exactly. So I think that's something I'm proud of.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is insightful in that sense. So when you were part of the magazine, or sorry, you still are
Yes.
part of the magazine, what kind of challenges in particular have been groundbreaking, like, or you've overcome and you're like, I can handle this now?
Is firstly diminishing the fanboy within you when you're working with like celebrities or high profiles where they've got millions and millions of followers, is just diminishing that fanboy in you. You're here for a job, right? And it took me like probably a couple of years to understand that you're just still here for a job. This is my 9 to 5. This is my office, right? This is my job. Whatever it is, this is it. And I'm here to just, again, it's going back to the end project.
Yeah.
We're all here for success. I'm not going to put my own little thing in or my percentage in, being like, I did this. No, we did this. Like, we all done this,
Yeah.
right? So it's just understanding that, hit the fanboy away from. Because I think I also feel like in my experience, celebrities kind of, they appreciate it when they also see we're all here for work,
Yeah.
right? Because they're surrounded, especially in the celeb culture in Bollywood, they're surrounded by fans anyway. So I think
All the time.
sometimes it can be a little bit refreshing for them that okay, we've come international, or a international team have come to them, and we're serious about work. I think that's very grounding for me personally. That's very grounding.
So you've styled many, many models and celebrities, as we've said as well.
Yeah.
But now with your new business,
Yeah.
the Styling Pod, you have previously as well, before even launching this side of your business, you have dressed and styled many, many clients.
Quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what kind of differences do you see with building those kind of relationships?
I think firstly with when you do photo shoots, everything's just there. Whereas when you style a bride, everything is like 360. Everything needs to be like, sometimes like on models, there's like clamps and clips behind them, like cinching them in. You can't necessarily have that on a bride, right? So it's just ensuring that the level of detailing is everywhere, right? And it lasts.
It's actually going back to the 360 that you just said,
Yeah.
because the cameras are going to be going
Yeah,
360.
literally.
Do you know what I mean?
No, you have 360
your guests
now.
are 360.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to be standing behind a backdrop, right?
So it's making sure that 360 and making sure that it lasts, right? It lasts through like first dances, your fede, the ceremonies, the walking, the heat, somehow, everything, right?
Yeah.
And as a makeup artist, I'm sure you understand that, right? Whether it's makeup and hair. So it's the same thing with styling, right? And now there's different elements. So before there used to be one junni, like ek junni hundi si. Now there's like two.
Yeah.
So ensuring that both junnis are like styled and draped and pinned and stitched perfectly. The jewelry's on point. Like just ensuring that they stay intact, right? So it's making sure that they're also feeling confident. That, ensuring that the way you've draped them, the way you've styled them, like you're elevating their confidence. This is going to be one of the biggest days of their lives, right? And ensuring that confidence, that you kind of add to that confidence, I know it sounds probably, some people probably may not get it with styling, but trust me, just whether it's the way you pin something or drape something or style something, like it can really add to someone's confidence.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And comfort as well.
And comfort, yes.
The difference, well, the big difference is here that I see with models and then, you know, clients, brides, or just general clients as well, is the fact that you're probably there at the end stage. They've got their outfits.
Yes.
They've got their jewelry.
Yes.
With as if with an editorial campaign or something, are you selecting the stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a big, massive...
There's a bit of both.
A little bit of a difference, because I find the same even with being a makeup artist.
Yeah.
There's only very few that will take my advice from the beginning and say, oh, Mani, you know, this is the kind of lehenga that I'm going to go. I'm going to India, or I'm going shopping or something, and this is the lehenga. And then they're like, what kind of jewelry do you think you know is trending, and what do you think I should look out for? What do you think I should buy? But like I said, very few, because a lot of brides, they've gone with their families, they've gone abroad, they've gone wherever they've gone to go and do their shopping, and then I will only get to see the outfit on the day, in the morning. And, you know, sometimes, unless they've come for a trial beforehand, but a majority of the time, I don't get to see the bride until the wedding morning. And then you see the outfit and you see the jewelry. And sometimes it's like, I'm wowed.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, oh, your outfit's so nice, but this is all the bubbles in my head. And I'm like, and I'm being really truthful and honest, but sometimes this is what it feels like when I'm like, your outfit is so gorgeous and it's so nice. Why did you choose that jewelry for?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And you're not going to say anything, because obviously, what can you say at that time in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning? It's not as if like there's a jewelry shop to be open, or vice versa, a lehenga shop or something. And so you make it work as much as you can.
Yeah. I mean, there's different elements that I found was that I have been there from like the start of a process, like the shopping process for a bride, and then all the way to the end of draping and styling, right? And I've also been where I've been presented this is my outfit, this is my jewelry. One thing I kind of find very interesting is when someone asks for an opinion, when it's almost like, why are you asking for my opinion once you bought it?
Yeah.
Or advice, not opinion, advice, because you can't necessarily do much.
Can't do anything in that window of time. No, you can't.
I think that's probably why putting myself out there even more, to be a bit like, I can also be there from the start to like help you or just direct you. It's always going to be your day. You wear what you want to wear. It's your money. You do what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
But if it's more sort of a professional advice, that I am there at hand, like, you know, just approach me and then I can probably direct you in the right directions. And I mean, I've done that before. I've done that like recently, where a bride's getting married and, you know, she didn't necessarily know that this designer existed. And I was like, oh, like, you know, come, like, we'll go. And she ended up placing an order there. So it's sometimes brides don't know, like
not knowing.
Yeah, it's not knowing. I kind of breathe this thing. This is my world.
Yeah.
And again, like, this is my pond, right? So it's almost, I can kind of introduce new people, or why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? Why don't you try this color? Why don't you try this color? Right? That's my job, kind of thing. Ultimately, that person needs to be comfortable with what they're getting. So that's, whatever decision they make is always going to be their, it's their right, and it is right for them, right? But just that exposure, like, I can probably introduce new people to them, or new ideas, businesses, fashion houses,
even trends.
Like,
yeah,
exactly.
You know, at the end of the day, sometimes somebody might need to have an insight into what is actually trending, or, you know, they like a particular trend, but it's like, oh, it's going out, that is, and guess what's coming in? True. This is coming in. Do you want to be the first to kind of jump onto that?
And the other flip also can be is that they bought the outfit and they're like, that this is it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Or they might be like, I've got this isn't fitting right. This necklace is like this is like this. And then I'm like, right. So we can do other things. We can either drape you differently, like a drape which they probably didn't think of. So you can cover, if you've got a bit of a conscious area, we can do a drape to cover that bit. We can, if your jewelry is a certain way, then I've got like pliers or whatnot, we can cut and shave or whatever your jewelry There's so many
pliers.
things. Yeah, like
Please reveal what are you doing with
like
pliers?
in the styling kit, like as a stylist, you have pliers, you have some jewelry bits and bobs. You just never know.
Oh, okay. Okay, pliers for the jewelry, yeah?
Not for the
not
God,
for the
no.
outfit. I was thinking, what's he going to do with
No. Okay, can you imagine?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right.
I was thinking, oh, okay, right.
Or
For the jewelry.
Yeah, for
right.
jewelry or sewing kit or something.
Yeah.
Or some, sometimes fittings need, doing. They need to be taken
Yeah, the
in.
amount of time that a zip has...
Every amount
and the
of time.
cameraman's downstairs, and then the family are saying
feel the pressure.
The pressure's on, and I'm like, the zip has broken.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
You know,
Yeah.
I've got a rule: I will not even draw up a zip on anyone because I'm like, anyhow, this zip breaks.
Listen,
it's going to be like
stuff.
the makeup artist.
Yeah,
did it? Do you know what I mean?
scary
That
stuff.
is not on me. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
trust
I'm
me.
just like, all your stuff, please try it on beforehand. Even like the earrings, if it's not going through your lobe, we haven't got time in the morning.
Yeah,
to make
exactly.
these, adjustments, or your nut, which is the nightmare
Yes.
that is, I'm just like, try.
Either watering, especially for a makeup artist,
Yeah.
either watering, like, oh my gosh, what do you want?
yeah.
What should I do?
And then you're like looking at the time and like the broth,
Yeah,
the broth.
exactly,
Like, so
exactly.
it's a lot of pressure
Yeah.
on styling. And even as a makeup artist,
Exactly.
there's just a lot of pressure.
But I also feel like one of the biggest roles I feel like I have is just ensuring that the bride or the groom or the bridal party or the groom's party, they stay calm, right? And even if there
good luck
is,
with that one.
and even if there is a bit of a problem going, just making sure that they're calm, making sure that it's fine, right? Maybe a problem, there's a solution out there, and that's what I'm here for, to find that solution.
That's with
But
me,
it's
with my
okay.
panic speech bubbles in my head, where I'm just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
but like I'm just like, my energy's at level. I'm
Yeah,
calm.
it's
You're not going to
Just be
cotton
calm.
on with what I'm thinking in my
Yeah.
head, but at the same time, it's just having that calmness, that professionalism to
Yeah.
just be like, I can handle this.
And be solution oriented,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. There's always a way.
Yeah, exactly. Save that energy for the solution, not being like, what happened? Why this? Why that? Why that? You can do that you can do that afterwards.
You
Just
can do that
get
afterwards,
get the solution,
in,
right?
in that space of time, it's just not going to happen.
100%.
When you're with a client and you can see that they're feeling a little bit uncomfortable or not so confident or insecure about their body, and it's their wedding day, they're going to wear a certain outfit as such. How do you approach that? How do you make them feel confident within their skin? Because I guess you're only there for that moment.
Yeah.
And it's their big day.
Yeah. I think firstly, talk to me. Talk. That's it. Like, just talk.
Mhm.
Talk it out. What is it? Something might just be in the head, and something might actually be a physical problem, or it might be a physical roadblock, right? Whether it's, let's just say, their blouse is too short, or the sleeves are at a certain length, which is not making them feel like, they're probably not feeling that they may feel flat, like, it may not be flattering for them. So just talk to me, and then we can run through it. As I said, like, be solution orientated. To see that, okay, is it like this? What can we do? Is it like this? What can we do? Is it like this? What can we do? To the point, but just talk to me, and talk to me with, like, give me time. You just generally don't know. If it's not the outfit for them, trust me, like, we'll get a new outfit. If they've got the budget, we'll get a new outfit. Don't worry about the headache. I'll get the headache. I'll be responsible for that headache. It's fine, right? But just talk to me. If it's the same outfit, or if it's the jewelry, then we can discuss it. It's just about talking, right? So whether it's because everyone's complexions are different. Everyone's body shapes are different. So and everybody's insecurities can also be different too.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just talking and probably having a trial and seeing that if we do this, again, I'll keep it, probably sound so boring, just be solution oriented. Right.
I feel like with you and I, when we're with a client, whether we've met them before or whether we have just met them on the spot there and then, because we're in such intimate space of being with that client, that model, or even that celebrity in your case, right? The thing is, because I almost feel like most of the time I am like a little mini counselor as such. And because we're only there for that moment, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I loved being a makeup artist so much, is because to see that confidence grow afterwards.
Yeah.
Like at the initial point is like, oh, I don't really wear makeup. I don't know how I feel about this makeup. I don't know if am I going to look good? Am I not going to look good? And then as soon as you've, created this look for them that they've so longed for, that they've desired since they've been a little girl, where they have pictured themselves as a bride, and then you've dressed them up, they look in the mirror and they're like, wowed. That for me is like such a fulfilling point where I'm making them look good and feel good. But going on a deeper note, I think that appreciating our bodies is such a big thing, where I'd like to even take it a little bit more further, like appreciate your body, because it does so much for you.
Exactly.
Like, don't just think that, just being styled on that day or just having the makeup on that day is going to make me feel good, because it will, only just for that little bit of time.
Yeah.
But in the long run, if we go deeper and we think about how, our body is gifted to us and, we should really be grateful for it.
100%.
We could feel that glam or that beauty or that all the time.
I think firstly, confidence comes from within, right? Which we've heard so many times, and it's a small little sentence, but it's a big doing, right? Because it really does, you can really see when someone's confidence. You can not even see, you can feel it, it's energy, right? But like, for example, I'll give you, there was a bride who was styled, and she went to quite a well-known fashion house, and she's, I think she was more on the curvier side. And they would just look at her and they'd be like, yeah, nothing's going to fit you. And I could just feel it when she was talking to me. She could just feel like the confidence went down. So I went with her to, for shopping. I remember like putting a lehenga skirt on her. And like, firstly, when she tried it on, and I think also the shape, like instantly, she was just like, she just was so drawn to it. First she was drawn to it because it was beautiful, but above that was that confidence that she had. She was like, oh, so I am not like this, almost this abnormal person. This person has like kind of, or it wasn't only that person, like that shop, these people, group of people, even if it's one or two people, have made me feel like I actually am beautiful. I am beautiful. I do look beautiful.
Yeah.
It's my wedding. I deserve to firstly get married. I deserve to wear what I want to wear. Right. So it's just that confidence, and just making sure that, how fashion can help that confidence. Yes, confidence is within, but just it's that feeling that fashion can really give to you. I think that's the key.
Yeah. I mean, for a number of years now, I've been working with a charity. It's called Look Good, Feel Better, and it is just that, look good, feel better. And it's a cancer charity where a group of women, they are called into a hospital as such, and they're going through treatment, or they've had treatment. They've got losing their hair, lost their hair, lost their eyebrows, losing eyebrows, nails are bad, skin's changed, everything has changed for them on the exterior. And we go in there and we basically, for the day, there's lots of donations where they're given makeup. So they've got a new makeup kit, and then we teach them how to apply makeup on themselves to bring out that confidence.
That's so nice.
And for the exterior to look good. And I went yesterday, and one of the girls, she was there like, oh, look, Mani, this is my picture. And look, I had full eyebrows, and now look, I haven't got any eyebrows. Can you teach me how to, as such, brush my eyebrows back in? And I was just like, yeah. And in that moment, in these moments that I go and I do these sessions, it's a massive reminder for me I just stand there and I'm just like, thank you, Waiguruji. Thank you, Waiguruji, for my body, because in no way, shape, way or form is your body made to last. It's going to change. You're going to age. You could have an injury.
We're part of nature, and as nature changes, we change,
and we change as well, sort of thing. But what we need to understand is that, the inner beauty, the inner voice, let's feed that a little bit with love and gratitude, and not just feel good in the moment of being styled or not feel good in the moment of just having my makeup done, but to actually have full on gratitude in every aspect of the way that our body is beautiful. And I think that's inner beauty and confidence.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't, you know what I mean? Nobody should be able to dim your light about
Also,
how
it's
you
self-care.
look. Yeah.
It's self-care, right? If someone said, as I said, if someone said that, that's on them what they think.
Yeah.
It's not on you.
Yeah.
Right. So just make yourself so powerful that it's like, it's fine. If you say whatever you want to say, it's fine. It doesn't really affect me. Right. That's what confidence is.
Yeah.
Right.
And just live in every breath of just feeling like every single day, even if you just, you know, give yourself that granted grace and honor your body and your beauty from within and without, you know, and from the outside as well. It just goes a long way. So it's not just for that little moment of being styled or having your makeup done or having your hair done, you know, appreciate life because the energy of life is everlasting.
I think just also going back to the charity, just, you can see like the difference, right? But just you, even that small part of you being able to help, right? And you being able to help, and you can just see like, I'm sure you can see like when people start smiling again in a different way.
Yeah.
And you've just done like something so small, but that feeling within is so big.
I mean,
it's so
sometimes
big.
I feel like a little bit, is it selfish of me to, it makes me feel so good that I'm making someone else feel so good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm thinking, gosh, it's such a beautiful thing to offer up to somebody, right? That, you know what, just, and it's, like I said right at the beginning, it's such a big, massive reminder for me to think that, girl, just be happy and feel grateful for the way you're looking and the way you're being able to dress, because something as simple as that, like, well, not even simple, but, you know, they've had big, massive body changes, you know, in one treatment, the third day, they've lost all their hair. That's with some, that's massive. Like for
massive,
some, you know what I mean? For somebody who's feeling like that. And I just feel like in the moment, some people, they're so drawn to the way that they look and they put a lot of pressure on themselves. I just think let go of just what society is placing on you. Just
and find that happiness within you.
Yeah, success is an inside job.
Yeah, exactly. And everything else, everything outside is secondary. It's just that inside.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it shows. It shows in your photos when you're not confident.
Yeah.
It shows in your body language. It shows in your energy. People read energy. Like,
you could have the most expensive wedding outfit on, or you could, and if you're not carrying it and feeling good from within, it shows on the
100%, 100%. And the opposite way around. You might have something which is inexpensive, but with your confidence and the way you pull it off, it's like, oh, do you know what? You make it $1 million. You make it your own. So 100%. Confidence is like the biggest accessory. Yeah.
And I think it's, we're both blessed to be able to make somebody feel like that. And I really, that's, regardless, I absolutely hate waking up at 2:00 in the morning. And that's one of my like, oh God, and why am I doing this job for? But when I'm there, I am present, I am there, and I'm there to make that person feel amazing.
And I always say it's being that small part of someone's big day.
Yeah. And I think that the both of us, we're so aligned in the sense that we are there. When we're there, we're present, and we're, the one goal that we've got is to just give our time and our all to that person.
100%.
Yeah.
And just, again, going back to confidence, just adding to their confidence.
Yeah. Right. And it feels good, even though I'm like falling asleep and about to crash the car on the way back home, because I'm just like, I've just done a 6-hour shift and it's only 8 a.m.
Oh gosh, you definitely not.
Do you know what I mean? But again, I love people. This is why I'm actually even doing this podcast. I love people. I love to
you can see that.
Elevate and bring people up. And, you know, if you care about people enough, it makes them care about themselves.
Yeah, 100%. And you can definitely see that. See that. Yeah.
I think just, you know, let's just ignite that little bit of, you know, it's not just all about your outer self.
Just be nice.
Yeah. How do you think that the actual wedding scene, fashion, what have been the exchanges and changes and trends now? Like, what are we seeing more of?
More elaborate trends / bordering onto like Christmas tree. Like it's so elaborate. I feel like it's the
You
more.
like the Christmas trees back?
I feel like the more trend is coming back, right?
More rather than less? Is that what you? Is that
I
where
feel
we
like
at? Is that where we're at?
I feel like with makeup, it's like less is more.
Yeah,
right.
I think
And
with the
hair.
makeup, it's gone to like
But
softer.
I feel like with like fashion, it's like more is more. It's like pile it on. And don't get me wrong, there's some beautiful looks out there, right? But I feel like people also need to understand their personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's their personality? It's your biggest day of your life.
Yeah.
So what do you want to wear? Like, why don't you wear something which represents your personality?
Yeah.
Right. Opposed to a trend.
Or opposed to what somebody says
Yeah.
you should wear.
Or opposed to just competition. Like, why? Like, because then where are you in that kind of thing? So just basically just be true to you. What's comfortable for you? What's making you feel confident? And also, can some of your choices tell a bit of a story about you? Whether it's you're wearing your favorite color or you're wearing like some jewelry from your nanny or daddy, something like that. Some like telling a story.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think that's more enchanting. That's more like there's something to it. You made it very individual.
Yeah.
And then when something's individual, to me, it instantly becomes memorable for the right reasons.
And interesting.
Yeah.
I find that there's this one makeup artist who's really good, like very, at peaking. Yeah. Doing really, really well. But when I look through all the brides, it's like, not to sound disrespectful, but they're all like little minions.
Cookie cutter. It's a cookie cutter thing.
Exactly the same. The exact same draping, the exact same hairstyle, even down to the eyeshadow, even down to the lip color. It's like, okay, it's like, wow, you all of your brides look exactly the same. But then I've gone back and forth and I've thought, well, is it the makeup artist who is creating this one look, or is it the clients, the brides are saying, hey, I want to look like that bride. I want to look like that bride. And they're going along with that.
Well, I think whether it's a makeup artist or a designer, they can probably create one or two looks which are like their signature styles, right?
I get the whole signature thing.
Yeah.
I get that.
But it depends. It's more so on the brides being like, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then they end up falling in that trap where they become that cookie cutter kind of bride. But if they want that, okay, fair play. You want that.
Like I said, this makeup art is doing fantastic, booked out all the time.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's working for that person. But when it comes to the bride having individuality, I don't see that in any of them. And it makes me think, okay.
I feel like you have two brides where there's one where they think about the small little details that this is me and I want to represent it and reflect it in my choices, for my fashion choices. And there's one who is like
safe.
So safe. Like so static. Like no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. No,
not experimenting.
Yeah, not experimenting.
And not bringing out their
own
authenticity.
And I think all of a sudden it's really weird because there's this level of fear that they have. To the point they probably don't even want to hear anything.
Yeah.
Right. But again,
got the shutters on, yeah.
Again, it's your wedding day. But I think going back to like you mentioned trends. Like there's designers out there and they've got. I mean, these days, their campaigns and when they show models, like it is some of things I feel like they are kind of overtly sexualized.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the really small little blouses.
And yeah, they look great in the photos, right? And they
look great for Bollywood too.
They're great. They look great for Bollywood. But we all know this, the age old saying, which is sex sells, right? But how practical is that when you are, let's just say, you're at an undercarriage ceremony?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And I'm not going to be one telling a woman what they should wear, like how revealing, how short this or how long this should be. But ultimately, every ceremony, if it's a religious ceremony, has a certain level of uniform that they have, right? Which also comes under respect.
I was just about to say,
right?
Yeah, 100%.
So whether there's this like massive lenge, and I know we had like there was the last year the lenga ban
2 years ago.
Yeah,
if I'm right,
approximately.
Yeah, round about there. Going back to that, what for people that don't know about that, let's just give a little highlight of why there was a Lenga ban.
So there was the Lenga ban in a section of India in Punjab, at Gurdwaras, opposed to they wanted girls to wear. Correct me if I'm wrong. With the salwar kameez,
Yep.
like a suit.
Yep.
Not these elaborate lenge. And one of the reasons were, I think, because some of the lenge tops they're not as modest, they're short, they're deep, and I think
Or backless.
they're backless, and they're just totally elaborate, right?
Where girls actually really, really struggle
Yeah.
to be able to walk. I remember when it was, announced in England, a lot of people were annoyed, like, why are they making us?
I can understand that. They spent so much money.
Lenge now. This is my dream lenge. I wanted to wear it for my wedding. Why do I have to wear a Punjabi suit? My thoughts on it, I think I pretty much got it straight away, because I know when I'm there that very morning, most of the times the mom will come and say, "Edi chunni thode more kar do." Or, the bride will say, "Can you just drape my dupatta so you can't see my cleavage?" Or my blouse is very high. Can you just drape the chunni so you can't see my back? And in my head at that time, I'm thinking, you really should have thought about this beforehand.
I agree with you, yeah.
The Godara, there is a certain etiquette of how to be dressed,
especially when things are customized, like there's customization available, right? And most of these girls have gone through that element. But one thing I've always took away from one of my friends got married, and she's very into Sikhi, and she told me something, and they hadn't left me, and it was almost like Anand Karaj. That's the word. Anand means bliss. And it just made me think that it is true. When you have all these heavy, elaborate, beautiful lenge, but you can't walk in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're concerned that, am I going to be sitting on my foot? Am I going to be tripping? Am I going to be sitting on the can? Does it look like it's all like poofed up at the back? How my photo is going to look? Those 4 vowels, which are your fere,
your lava, yeah,
your lava. How blissful are you going to be doing that? That's you and your partner in front of God in something like a divine,
divine wisdom.
Divine wisdom, a divine timing, right? But in that divine timing, if you're going to be thinking about your lenga, this, oh, is my bridesmaid going to be able to puff it down? Am I going to trip? Is this going to happen? Is this happening? Oh, it's so heavy.
The whole entourage behind you, pulling out your skirt.
I think that's
and your brothers kind of hold you around, and it just looks messy.
Right, yeah. And also, again, it's like you can see sometimes girls are uncomfortable, right? So what I'm just trying to say is that it's a question girls need to ask themselves. How are their choices, are they going to be like stress-free when they're doing doing your lava, right? Are you going to be stress-free? Are you going to actually be able to concentrate?
Like, are you in a state of mind?
Yeah, are you in a state of mind? Yeah, are you in a state of mind of the bliss of the Anand Karaj?
Yeah.
Right? And again, it goes to when people are being like, oh, we just want to quickly get the Anand Karaj out of the way so I can just party.
Let's go to the party.
Let's go to the
reception.
But I feel like people and I think that's something I think people need to educate themselves. I'm not religious, right? But I feel like it just made sense to me.
Yeah, the common sense of it.
It genuinely made sense to me, right? So,
especially that terminology that the explanation that your friend's given.
Yeah.
It just makes so much more sense.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like when you're making these choices, think about these. Like, think about, there's so many different things. If you want to have your wedding portraits to look a different way, right? With like probably 2 dupatte or a heavier skirt, whatever you want, have those. You're going to have time to do those. But maybe on the day, I'm not turning around saying wear a suit. I'm not turning around, but I feel like just ask yourself that question that, am I going to be in bliss when I'm doing my lava, when I'm going to do my fede, when I'm going to be saying my vow or acting upon my vows, right? It's a very big question, right? And I think certain things are a lot more are beyond fashion. They're beyond fashion. It's a feeling that you get.
So going on to being on set or being with real clients, what I mean by real clients is, brides or bridal parties. Can you highlight like a memorable moment or something which has been a dream come true as such, or something that you've seen or you've experienced and it's just really stuck with you and you've enjoyed thoroughly?
I think I loved the experience of draping Deepika Padukone at Cannes Film Festival. That was a nice experience. Also,
did you go there?
Yeah.
Oh, so you had the whole experience?
Yeah, I had the whole experience. So like getting flown out there, and
that is big.
Yeah,
don't downplay that, boy.
I think I knew it was going to be big. I didn't necessarily know how big it was going to be, but I think just firstly being trusted to do that, because it's a big job on a very global scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also just being able to elevate myself working under like such pressures in a short space of time, and you have to deliver. Like, you have to. There's no negotiation. You have to deliver. So that's something I'm very grateful for, and that's something I felt like I kind of grew and understood, like how, again, working in that celebrity culture for an event, not a photo shoot, is, again, it's the whole 360 thing that like we spoke about earlier. In terms of brides, every bride is individual, right? Generally, I know this sounds corny, but just being that small little part of a bride's big day, it's so nice. It's special. Yes, it is business, but also at the same time, it's just nice that they're trusting you, right?
Absolutely.
And
you've been chosen.
Yeah, and I feel like before they embark on the next chapter in their life, you're like one of the last people that they've interacted with, and they've like kind of it's that transition, right? And you like being like, okay, you're ready, go.
Yeah.
Like kind of push them, being like, yeah, go fly.
I think it's beautiful when we built that relationship, like with my brides, and then they come back again for an event of their lori, or they've come back again for they're having children, or their first akanpa, or just something, and you're involved in different stages of their life, and it's just it's nice to be part of them growing in their new world.
Exactly. It's special. It's nice.
So that's the good bit.
Oh gosh, I knew you were going to come to this.
Yeah, but what's been a memorable time on set or at a bridal event or anything where you've just actually been jarred and shocked by what's been exposed to you, what's happened?
Oh gosh, I think for brides, I would probably say that anxiety, like the anxiety attacks, almost just being a bit like, and you can just feel like them tensing up, and you're like, oh my gosh, kind of thing. And the energy changes, the room atmosphere changes, like the energy in the room changes. So it's like one time it's just basically just doing some breathing exercises with the bride, like just like breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Like, come on, it's fine, guys, just give us some space. Like, let's just do that. And
I had a bride last year, which you know of as well, and God, she was that anxious.
It's a real thing.
And I didn't. How long I've been actually a makeup artist for? I've never ever witnessed it or been part of something which is an anxiety level of such volume, because she was repeatedly vomiting, and she just couldn't collect herself together again. Whether her parents are in the room, whether her sister, whether any calming, even her husband on the other side of the future husband on the phone was just like, it's okay, everything's going to be okay. And she had no reason to. I just did her own engagement part makeup 6 months before, and she was just fine, and she was chilling, and all of a sudden the anxiety, she just couldn't bring it to calm.
As I said, it's a real thing. It's a real thing, and you can. I'm sure when you were there, like the atmosphere changes. You start feeling tense, kind of thing.
I was genuinely really, really worried for her, because I was thinking, is she even going to be able to attend her own wedding? Because that's how bad it was. And I was thinking, oh, is there any point in me putting eyelashes on or eyeliner on? This wedding must go on. Like, do you know what I mean? And I really just wanted her to have this happy wedding day that she has so been looking forward to, but she just couldn't. And even the next day when I went to go and see her for her fair day, which is the day after you go back to your parents' house, she was still in that frame of mind. It was the state of mind that she'd got herself into.
State of mind. Yeah, bless her.
Yeah. Gosh. But what about with the celebs?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's so many stories, but one thing that sticks out to me is literally with the hair and makeup's got done. I'm not going to mention the celebrity name, and it was outdoor, and it was a bit cold. And before we shooting, she's literally just like demanded brandy, like, get me brandy.
Oh, demanding brandy.
Yeah, like, get me brandy. Now, I know I carry a lot of stuff in my styling kit, right? Brandy is not something that I have, right? So that was very interesting, and it was almost like, okay, this is very interesting. There's many stories, but that's another podcast for another day.
Was it delivered for her then?
Yeah.
Eventually. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So she got a brandy then?
Yeah, she got a brandy, but all like that little bit, I'm like, okay. It's as I said,
Maybe that was her releasing her anxiety.
Yeah, maybe that was just her level of alcohol being like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? But
like how we have a cafe, like an espresso. Or
yeah,
something.
literally like a little shot. But yeah, I think we were all like, well, we'd never experienced that before. So that was something new. But
yeah, gosh. Okay, diva mode.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, here you go, ma'am. Here's your brandy.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Right, okay then. So if there's somebody out there now who wants to get in within the fashion industry, what advice would you give?
It's not necessarily just fashion, just generally the advice is passion. Passion. Like, just persevere, right? Have a goal, even if it's the goal to just succeed, even if it is the goal to just, you don't want to be idle, right? You just want to work. You just want to be happy in that work space. Just have passion for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just don't take no as an answer, right? As I said, might sound corny, but if one door closes, literally 10 other doors open.
Yeah.
You just need to find those doors. And sometimes those doors aren't apparent to you. You just need to go out and find them, but find it, right? It's your loss if you don't find them. So for my thing is just persevere. And just be nice. Whilst you're doing this,
Mm-hmm.
whilst you're getting acceptance, whilst you're getting rejections, just be nice. Just be nice. That's it. Just be a nice person.
Yeah.
Because people will remember you.
Mm-hmm.
That rejection might be a rejection today, but if you're nice about it, tomorrow that can be an acceptance.
Yeah.
Just if you're just nice and people remember you as being like, okay, fine, like you were a nice person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. I think, especially in this day and age where there's so much negativity going on in the globe, right? I think just your own personal world, just be nice and be positive and be happy.
Yeah.
I think just that's your own accountability. That's your own responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's my advice, I'd say.
Yeah. And just be open to like creative opportunities.
Yeah.
And as you said right at the beginning, just be open to network and build good relationships with people along the way, because you just never know when you're talking to someone that they could actually vouch for you for an opportunity.
And I said that. Just, networking 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just carry on trying. You would probably just need that one opportunity for things to change.
Yeah.
So just carry on trying. And again, just be nice along the way and enjoy the journey. It's the journey,
that is
right?
it.
And yes, you are going to have low days. Yes, you're going to have rejections. Yes, but that day doesn't last, right?
Tomorrow's a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a new sunrise. Exactly.
Yeah.
And trust yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Trust yourself. And the biggest advice I would say is that don't be mean to yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Like, watch the language you speak about yourself to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
You can cast spells on yourself. Your storylines that you tell yourself, you end up believing those.
Yeah.
Whereas if you feed yourself with good storylines and believe in yourself, it's cheesy, but
no, it's true. Like, forget anyone else putting nazar on you. You're going to end up putting nazar on yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So just be very careful. Like, are you blessing yourself or are you cursing yourself?
Yeah.
That's in your hands.
And your limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Just don't have limiting beliefs of yourself. Just,
exactly.
They say, the sky's the limit, but it's for you to see that, and it is the truth.
For you to experience it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's the journey which makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Right. It's not the destination that makes you stronger. It's the journey that makes you stronger. So just trust in the journey and learn. If there's a failure, learn that lesson. If there's another failure, learn that lesson again. Keep learning it. Just keep learning and be open to learn. Be open to feedback.
Yeah.
Right. And just persevere. That's it.
We are now gonna move on to the final segment, which I'm excited about because we're gonna do a quick fire question round with you.
Go on then.
Are you ready for this?
Let's do this.
Okay then. So Vikas, you have been brilliant, but I just want like some quick little answers. Okay, some insights. Okay. What's your favorite piece of clothing in your wardrobe?
I was gonna say my wardrobe. This is not quick, is it? This is not quick.
But if anyone was to see your Instagram, I don't think that you have like just ordinary things. No. I think that your favorite. Fashion sense is just like, wow, he's got some serious amount of different style.
I don't have anything favorite. I wouldn't say I've got anything favorite. I like things. I feel like it's a mood. It's an expression. So it depends on what my mood is.
Okay.
Kind of thing. But if I were to just kind of like be a bit more broader, I think anything which is quite bright. I know I'm wearing all grey today. But
you look beautiful on that little couch.
But something sometimes usually I kind of draw myself towards something which are colours which are a bit more brighter because they're quite cheerful and they're quite happy. And sometimes if the sun if the clouds are covering the sun, at least you're out and then you can be the sun for yourself and many. So yeah, that's my analogy.
Vibrant.
Be vibrant.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So what's your favourite accessory?
Again, it sounds corny, but generally confidence. It's confidence. Right. You can wear it, right? You could be wearing a Rolex and if your confidence is down, it makes no difference. But you can literally just be wearing like a £20 watch, but if your confidence is high, the confidence is your biggest accessory.
I like that. Okay. What's the biggest fashion mistake you see people make?
I mean, so many.
Yes, come on. Tell me, what's the fashion mistakes?
So many. I mean, I've seen like saris being draped wrongly. I've been seeing pins. If I'm going to speak about a sari, like I've been seeing like pins being draped wrongly. I've been seeing like just a loose balla. Like there's so many things. There's just generally so many things. Like I can see which I'm like, okay, that needs to be rectified or you could have done this differently, right? But I think if I was going to say it, one biggest mistake would be not having the correct jewelry with your wedding outfit. Your jewelry, your accessories can make and break the outfit.
Definitely.
Right?
100%.
So I've seen that so many times. So girls, just invest in your jewelry, right? I'm not saying tons, just make sure that it complements it really nicely. That's it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about, but this is in trend. It's not, if it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. But to me, if it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. To them, clearly it's look right. So
yeah.
It's fine.
What are some essential wardrobe pieces that everyone should have?
Deodorant.
Yes. Deodorant.
Essential. Well, if you're South Asian and if and if we're going to talk about the South Asian wardrobe, definitely like, a sari. Who people who want to wear saris. I think definitely like just a nice sari. It's just always nice. And a nice blouse to go with it.
What about for a guy?
For a guy, I would just generally say like a really nice white kurta. Like a nice white kurta. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Just always good to keep it in your wardrobe with like an ivory. It's just something which is quite chic.
Yeah.
Timeless. And whether you want to put like a waist jacket on top of it, a blazer on top of it, or just a shawl on top of it. Just something which is chic.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Okay. What are some styling tips for those who want to appear slimmer or disguise certain body areas?
I
have people used to say at the beginning, can you make me look like Kim Kardashian?
Oh, gosh.
And I'm just like,
Firstly,
I'm not a magician.
Accepting your body for what it is. I think there needs to be that level of acceptance first.
Oh,
right?
good answer.
But if we're going to be talking about like being flattering, I think there's certain colors which can go, but I would love to say there's one color for everyone, but everyone's skin tone is different.
Yeah.
Right. also generally like fabrics, like I think more softer fabrics, they can probably work out, make someone look a bit more flattering rather than like very like stiff fabrics where that kind of add like a few inches on your appearance. So so just concentrate on the fabric. What fabric is a little bit more flowy and just a bit more feminine. Some stiffer fabrics.
Sometimes they even like with it, if somebody's wearing like satin or something or silk or something, and if your body type isn't right for it, it can really look wrong, can't it?
Yeah, like that. They're like ultra like the clingy outfits.
Yeah.
But something softer, like if you're looking at organzas or tissues, like especially in the sari world, right? That can probably add a little bit of like, just a little bit of inches in the appearance of it. Unless you drape it in a certain way and there's a bit more tight in certain areas and a bit more looser, that can make you look a lot more like just a bit more flowy.
Yeah. Okay, what's one piece of advice you'd give someone who's struggling with their style? And there's a lot of people out there,
Yeah.
that actually don't know how to bring out their identity.
Look into the personality. And just have fun. There's actually there's not any rules necessarily.
Yeah.
So just have fun.
And don't place rules on yourself.
Yeah, just have fun. Don't be, especially like guys are like that, I don't wear these clothes, that color. Even girls are like that. But just experiment and be open-minded, right? And just snowballing off that question, even when brides go for their outfit shopping, keep an open mind. Keep an absolute open mind. Something, I've witnessed it. Brides who have said no to something on the hanger, they end up buying the outfit.
Yeah.
Right? Just be open to it. And that's it. And have fun.
Yeah. Cute. That was good.
Yay.
Well, I just want to wrap this up now with you, Vikas. Again, big, massive thank you for coming and sitting on the hot seat and sharing some of your tips and experiences and your journey as well. I'm sure that most of our listeners and viewers are going to feel very inspired by your journey, and whether it's for the fashion industry, but at least it's given them some kind of background, ideas and all about the glam and glitz and everything as well. But
thank you, Mani.
You as a person as well, I'm really happy that you shared who Vikas is.
Well, thank you, Mani. Thank you for having me. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in and watching the Mani Kaur TV podcast show. Leave a comment, hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe. Catch you all on the next episode.
ਮਨੀ ਕੌਰ ਟੀਵੀ ਪੋਡਕਾਸਟ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਨ ਅਤੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।